It finished full-time in Motherwell, 2-0 to the Steelmen, but should it be full-time for Jimmy Thelin, and should his time at Aberdeen be up? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Time for the Aberdeen fans to react to another defeat in the league. Their fifth defeat out of 6 games, have yet to score a goal yet domestically in the Scottish Premiership. That is abysmal. That is unforgivable. It's just not good enough, and it doesn't even seem possible. It doesn't seem like an Aberdeen side should be able to go 6 games without a goal, but that's where we are. No wins, 1 draw, a single draw, 0-0 against newly promoted Livingston. It's abysmal. It's abysmal. And it's mad to think that a year ago this team was going on a 14-game winning streak, if you include the league and the Premier Sports Cup. In the space of a year, what's happened to Aberdeen, it's mind-boggling. They've went from being given a lot of praise, a lot of credit, people saying that they can run Celtic for the title, people saying that they're definitely going to split the Old Firm. In the end, they didn't split the Old Firm. They didn't even finish 4th. Hell, they got overtaken. They didn't even finish 3rd, and they got overtaken for 4th on the final day of the season. So, when you add all that up, it spells out one word, 4 letters to me: S-H-I-T, shit. And I think that Jimmy Thelin is in deep shit. Now, the performance against Motherwell was a little bit better, but at the end of the day, I don't think performing a little bit better is going to cut it when you're in this position, when you are bottom of the table with 1 point and no goals. I don't think that simply playing a little bit better is going to be good enough. So we'll see how the Aberdeen fans react, but I think that they're in trouble, and we'll see. Will Jimmy Thelin get another game to save his job? Potentially. I think he probably will, to be fair, but yeah, a win needs to come. It needs to come soon. And I will say, if they do not beat Dundee in their next league game at Pittodrie, if they had to, let's say, lose that without scoring another goal, even if it's like a 1-0 defeat, or even if it's like a 0-0 draw, I think that Jimmy Thelin's time could be up. I think he needs a big result against Dundee. Probably one of the better teams to be playing if you need a result, but by no means is it going to be a gimme, because I think we've seen this season that perhaps Dundee aren't as shit as we thought they would be. Anyway, let's see what the fans are saying. Dan66, Jesus, what an ending. I think overall this was a better performance. There were certainly chances for us to score and win, but a lack of composure and quality has cost us. Wasn't sure it was necessary for us to make so many subs unless players have knocks. I wouldn't bin Jimmy yet. I think this system gives us something to work with, but we really need wins and points. Well, yeah, that's saying the obvious. Jimmy Thelin massively needs wins. He massively needs points, and right now he is no getting them. And we've got the Kelly Few podcast here with some dancing with Thanos and his little sidekick. Colin Gale says, I don't think you can blame that on Thelin. The mistake that Mitov made is not the manager's fault and was very unfortunate. The penalty was very soft, to say the least. I don't think he deserves to be sacked based on this match. I thought things looked a lot better tonight. No, I don't think you can blame Jimmy Thelin for the penalty or the Mitov mistake, but you can blame Jimmy Thelin for Aberdeen going into their 6th game of the league campaign and desperately needing a win. You can blame Jimmy Thelin for Aberdeen going into this game without scoring a single goal. And even if those mistakes weren't made, it would have still been a 0-0 draw. It would have been the 6th game in a row where Aberdeen hadn't scored a goal. Yeah, they may have got a point. Yeah, they may have had 2 points out of 18, but that's not good enough either. Even if Aberdeen did draw this game, it doesn't exactly right the wrongs. Jimmy Thelin would still be in deep shit. So, yeah. Greg Law, we had a good game on paper. Unfortunately, the game is played on grass. That's a belter of a quote, by the way. That's a fantastic quote. I'm going to steal that, definitely. Jamie Jackson says 6 games in and Aberdeen have still scored more goals for Hearts than Aberdeen. Crazy, but it's true. Adam GHFC says, enjoy Queen's Park next season, lads. Will Aberdeen be playing in the Championship? Can Aberdeen be playing in the Championship? I doubt it. I don't think they'll go down. Even if they kept Jimmy Thelin, Could they still go down? I don't think so. It would get to the point where they do eventually get rid of him. But even if he had like a contract where he was guaranteed to remain the manager for the rest of the season, I just don't know if Aberdeen would be bad enough that they could remain bottom of the table. You think sooner or later they would have to start picking up wins. But yeah, for me, they'll be lucky to finish higher than like 9th, 10th. I think that's the best they can get, even with a new manager. They just don't look great. But we'll see. Dave Galloway says a better performance, but a horrific ending. It wasn't Jimmy's fault. Lasetic made a poor decision late on when he should have shot much earlier. Also not the manager's fault that Mitov made a mistake. For me, the penalty wasn't a penalty. Jimmy needs to be given until Christmas. Yeah, if Jimmy gets until Christmas, then Aberdeen could be fucking miles adrift at the bottom. No doubt about it. Andrew McShane says, folk will blame your manager, but striker failing to capitalise on a one-on-one and the keeper having the howler, you can't mitigate for that. Should have won your last two and have 1 point to show for it. SFA getting involved with VAR when there was no appeal. You've been robbed. I mean, I wouldn't say Aberdeen have been robbed. Have Aberdeen really been robbed here? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they have not been robbed. We had a good... okay, we've got the same paper. Comment again. SM says, how does it work? Do we take Mitov back once we switch leagues with you in June? I guess this is a St Johnstone keeper. Nice one. St Johnstone fan. Solar says, fairly up shit creek now. 630 minutes without a goal against Premiership opposition. Over 10 hours of football. Genuinely can't see a game where we even get a goal in our upcoming fixtures, let alone 3 points. Thursday is going to be an absolute doing. Time's running out. I think that European football is probably the last thing that Aberdeen need right now. It's just a distraction, and it's, yeah, I think it's... Jimmy Thelin, I think, would rather not have it. I think he'd rather focus on trying to improve things domestically, having that extra game midweek against superior opposition. It's just going to lead, I think, to the morale getting worse, and it's going to lead to midweek defeats, and it's just... I don't think it's going to be good for Aberdeen. I don't. Murray says that's Demi off. It's not the manager's fault, it's our duty. Dave, up until now I thought Thelin was mostly useless, his tactics were naive. Tonight we had the courage and sense to change things around, but players low on confidence let you down. You lost the game, but tonight I saw a glimmer of hope for you. I mean, some people giving Jimmy Thelin benefit of the doubt despite another defeat with no goals scored. That's the end of JT, I guess. Thanks for the Scottish Cup. We'll always remember and enjoy those celebrations. A massive job for whoever replaces him, as we have replaced the garbage with absolutely atrocious levels of shite. Genuinely favourites for relegation now. I mean, could be. John says, if that's a Scottish gaffer, he'd be gone long ago. No excuses. His time is up. Good luck in your future endeavours. I do think that he is getting some slack. And I know he won the Scottish Cup, but I mean, come on. It's not just the start of this season. Aberdeen have been woeful since like last November, December. It's almost a full year now. Aberdeen have been dog shite. And that's a fact. After extra time, Short says, stuck in a relegation battle with Rangers, Falkirk and Dundee. Comical. Craig Donald says, McKinn's out. I bet you wish you had McKinn's. Strange says, had you forgotten... It is the Lord we must follow, not these false gods or large language models. Alright, I didn't know this was a religious comment. What else have we got here? Haggis Horror, oh dear, as bad as us. It's time to go, says the legend Claude. It's time to go! And I think that's it. Absolute cinema there for Jimmy Thelin. No much cinema about it. And I think that's it. I've got beef stock, chicken stock, laughing stock, Aberdeen, great stuff. Radio Free Martin, what can you do when we continue to squander chances and concede like that? None of that is on the manager. Willie Miller could have went 1-0 in the 91st minute and end up losing 2-0. Honestly, our luck is non-existent. Played well there, deserved a point in a 50-50 game. Get Shakhtar out the way and then we'll win 4 in a row. Optimism there. But considering you can't even score a single goal, I think that winning 4 in a row might be a little bit ambitious. But who am I to say that? Maybe Aberdeen will prove me wrong. Maybe Aberdeen will go on a run. But right now, just does not look like it. And that's where we're going to end it, guys. A lot of Aberdeen fans want him gone, some want him to stay. I think that he should be gone, but I think he'll probably get another league game. I don't think the Shakhtar Donetsk result will get him sacked, but failure to defeat Dundee and failure to score against Dundee, I think certainly will get him sacked. So yeah, we could be looking at a new Aberdeen manager within the next week. We'll see what happens. Till next time, peace.